Okay, it's been approximately a month since I've given any updates on the greenhouse. It's December 14th today, so a month and 2 days. So let's see what we've got going here that may have changed since our last update. Pan back here a little bit so you can see some of the growth activity. Just in a month's time, we've had some more rapid growth on the kale. Swiss chard gotten quite large. So has the basil. It's within inches of the roof line. Got some ornamental kale down here. I also planted some just garlic cloves that I picked up at Walmart just to see if they would take. Planted these things and they sprouted within 5 days. So this is about 2 weeks worth of growth here. Let's see what else we've got. I planted some more of those in this bed as well. Planted a total of 28 to 30, and I believe all of those sprouted without any issues. But as you can see, the kale's doing well, and so are most of the herbs. Still having some issues with some of the jalapenos that we picked up. These are jalapeno plants. They were kind of past their prime, but I stuck them in here anyway just to see. I've had one or two that have actually recovered. This one back here, it's well, actually this is a bell pepper plant. It's actually putting on a bunch of bell peppers now. It's been blooming like crazy. I've got a determinate tomato plant here that's got tons of tomatoes on it now. I'll swing around the other side so we can get a look at that. Swiss chard, different varieties. Stuff's really gotten big, and if you can see the size on these, most of these are bigger than my hand, quite a bit. So we're going to pick some of that tonight for dinner, along with some of the kale. Contrary to popular belief, ornamental kale can be eaten. It's just a little tougher. If you want to eat it raw, you can, or you can cook it down and it's just like regular kale. I've also got some arugula here that's done pretty well. So it seems to be splitting and dividing. So we've got that going on. And some of these plants over here, I've got some kale varieties over here. They haven't grown quite as big because I've got 2 green panels in the roof here and I need to change one out. We also, some of the older basil I have has started to flower, so I'm going to have to pick this. We actually had temperatures get down to about 20 degrees several days ago outside. Had a small heater. It's got 2 settings on it. I had on 750 watts. It maintained the heat down to, it got down to about 48 degrees in here, which is the lowest it's gotten. That seems to have affected the basil since it's a hot weather plant. I've got indeterminate early girl tomatoes here. You see this? I've got quite a few tomatoes popping up on it. A lot of blooms. I'm actually going to clone this plant. See if I can get some other, cuttings and other plants started. I also, using some old trays that I had laying around that we salvaged from different food stocks. I took bell pepper seeds and sprouted these. According to all the forums I've been on, these are pretty hard to sprout, but so I doubled up and tripled up on some of these in different grow cubes, and they all sprouted within 7 days. And just as an experiment, I planted quite a few of the same. These are all green and yellow and red bell peppers. I also did the same thing in the grow beds, just to see if there was any difference between, you know, what would sprout. And as you can see, I've got a few in this bed that I put in that sprouted. I've got quite a few in this bed. As you can see, anybody that tells you it's hard to sprout bell pepper seeds hasn't used an aquaponics system to do that. So they really like the fish water. So I've sprouted quite a few. I think the last count I had was about 190 bell pepper plants. So these are just bell peppers that we picked up at Walmart. These are all hybrids. So in the future, I'm going to purchase heirloom seeds of different varieties and types so that we can plant those. And I still have seeds coming up. Some of them came up early, some came up late. So I have to put some extra grow beds in here just to transfer some of these out when they get up bigger. As you can see, I've got quite a few. So, pretty good size. This is about 2 weeks now since they've sprouted. So, that's one of my tomatoes. Some others here. See that one. And there's some more up there, and there's others on the plant as well. Just have to dig through. And like I said, the Swiss chard, compared to my hand, that's pretty big. And the determinant, this is a patio variety tomato plant. Got quite a few tomatoes. Still got quite a few blooms on it, so they're trucking along. And one other item I did add to the greenhouse, I had thought about adding a 55-gallon drum in here to you know, stabilize the water for the fish tanks. That would allow the chlorine to evaporate out before, you know, I used it in the fish tanks. But hey, I came up with a better idea. Why not just put a filter on my water? So I've got a whole house filter put in here. Cost me about 30 bucks. Does up to 15,000 gallons of water. So it'll probably last me, averaging water usage in the summer at its height, and it's low in the winter time. I'll probably get about 6 months out of a filter cartridge. Cartridges come in 2-packs. About $10–11 for a 2-pack. So that'll effectively remove most of the chlorine and the chloramines out of the water. So you know, I figure it's a, you know, pretty wise investment. It'd be a lot easier than having to fill up a 55-gallon barrel and let it sit for several days. So that's one of the few additions I've had thus far, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more as time goes on. Got the old garden hose hooked right up to it. So took me about 15–20 minutes to install. Not a big deal. So back to the grow beds. As you can see, my goldfish have even grown. Got about 25 in each tank. As soon as I get the other grow beds in, I've located some other 275-gallon totes. I'm probably going to add another 8 grow beds to this before I put my raft systems in. So I've got quite a few fish in here. The fish have actually doubled in size. It's really amazing. Just a quick update. What's really truly amazing about this system is all I have fed my goldfish is the Wardley's goldfish flake food. This is a 6.8 ounce can. This is the only can that I've purchased, and as you can see, I've probably used 2/3 to 3/4 of it. So I did have one other Wardley bottle that was less than an ounce. So out of this 6.8 ounces, I probably used 5 ounces plus the other bottle. So 6 ounces of food has actually grown, or 6 ounces of fish food has actually grown all of this in this greenhouse since I've put it in. So I would say that's a pretty good conversion ratio, fish food to plant food. So like I said, you know, we've had some pretty phenomenal growth. That's it for now, and we'll update you in the future.